So one of the biggest problem developer face while working with the headless CMS is that they have to read a lot of documentation while working with the headless CMS. They have to understand how they can get all the API endpoints, how they can use all the API endpoints to get the content from the backend APIs, how to get the APIs for paging, how that paging stuff works. And if they don't render their first content under 15 minutes, they get frustrated and they leave the solution they're working on. So you've got the problem. I will provide you with the solution, but before that, let's roll the intro. Right over here, you can see that I am at the official site of NPM, which is npmjs.com, which is the home for a lot of NPM packages. And over here, you have to just search for .cms create app, and this is the package you have to look for, which is at the rate .cms/create-app. And this is the CLI which will take care for all of the things. You have to just run it and it will go and create a headless project using your front-end framework with .cms. So you can read further about this CLI right over here, but I will go straight to the installation section, and over here you can see that the recommended way for running the CLI is using npx. So without wasting our time, let's jump to the terminal and create our very first headless project using this CLI with .cms. So if you come to my terminal, you can see right over here, I am in my projects directory, and over here you have to just run the command, which is npx @.cms/create-app, and then you have to provide the project name. In our case, the project name is demo for now. So it's DEMO, if I can spell that right. And if you just enter this thing, it will go and ask you for a couple of options. The very first thing is it is asking whether you want to create your project in the current directory. So yes for that. And then it is asking you to select your front-end framework. In my case, I will go with Next.js because I love Next. So if you just enter this thing, then it is asking you whether you want to connect your existing front-end with the .cms running at a cloud, or whether you want to spin up .cms locally with Docker. So I will go with locally with Docker. Just enter this thing, and now it is going to check whether Docker is available. Then it is going to check whether all the ports are available or not, and then it will go and start your containers. Right now, this might take a lot of time if you're not having your .cms images locally in your system, so it might take a lot of time to download those images. But in my case, the images were already in the system, so it is taking way less time. And right now you can see that .cms containers have been successfully started, and then it was waiting for .cms to come up, and now you can see that .cms is running locally at this port right over here. And then these are the default credentials, and what this has done is that this has also I would say retrieved our API authentication token. And then if you just see that it has also retrieved our demo site ID, and it has also configured our UVE, which is our universal visual editor. So there is a lot of stuff which is CLI is doing, so you don't have to, I would say, worry about all of these because this has been taken care by the CLI. And right now you can see that it is scaffolding our Next.js project and installing the dependencies. So just wait a little, and once these dependencies are installed, we are good to go with our very first headless project. Set it up with .cms. So right over here, you can see that it is saying the project setup has been completed, and the next step is that you have to navigate to your project. You have to create an environment variable file, and then you have to place all these environment variables over there, and then you can start your application in development mode, right? So what I will be doing is I will just copy this thing right over here. Let me just right click and copy, and over here I will go into the demo directory, and then over here I will create a file with .env name. Okay, so then what I will do is I will open that file with using vim.env, and then just paste the content over here, and let me just format these things right over here. So our environment variables are set it up, and just quit vim with wq. And then what we can do is we can just run this using npm run dev. So we can type npm run dev, and this will go and start our Next.js project, I would say, in local development mode. And if you now come to Chrome right over here, and if you open a new tab and you've just typed localhost 3000, this will go, and we just go back to the terminal. You can see it is compiling all the pages which are coming from .cms, right? And if you just come to my browser right over here, you can see that my application is running headlessly using all those .cms APIs. And now the good part over here is that if you just go into new tab and type localhost port 8082 /admin. This will go and take you to the admin panel of dotcms. And over here, we all know that the default password and email is that admin@dotcms.com is the email, and the password is admin. If you just enter this thing, you are inside your local dotcms instance right over here. And if you just close all these things, and if you just go to site and pages inside this, if you go to your home page right over here, you can see right over here that we are having the same page which is being headlessly rendered right over here. And the good part of this is that now this is our UVE, which is our Universal Visual Editor. And what we can do is we can just change the content right from here, and this will automatically be reflected into our Next.js app. So if we maybe just change this thing to maybe like welcome to .cms, and if you just publish this thing, let me just close this and publish this thing, you can see that this has been published. And if you just come to your next app and you just refresh this thing, you can see that the content is automatically being reflected at runtime without redeploying your Next.js app. So that is how, with the help of this CLI, you can go and create your headless project by using your front-end framework with .cms. So you don't have to worry about all the stuff which are there, right? You don't have to read that much of a documentation. Now you have a fully functional Next.js app working with .cms APIs. And now what you can do is you can just go back to your terminal, maybe open a new tab, and over here just open this in your favorite IDE. In my case, I am using NeoVim right over here, which is lazy Vim. And then you're having all the code right over here, which is just a simple plain Next.js app. And if you just come to your package.json right over here, you can see that these are all the dependencies which are being used for getting the data from .cms API and render all that data headlessly in your front-end Next.js app. So you can go and start working with this Next.js project according to your own needs. So that's all from this video. If you like the content and if you are really interested about .cms, to join our community, which is at community.cms.com. So see you on the other side.